the diagram will be same, just instead of memory there will be address set. Okay, so that means as the class says that the address is the registered address, so that means whatever content we need as operand, that will be stored in a register set. Okay, and this will be pointed to that register set. Fine, that is register direct mode. The operand is contained in a register set. The address field of the instruction refers to a CPU register. Okay, instead of memory, that will be referred to a CPU register that contains the operand. Okay, in register the operand will be there. No reference to memory is required to fetch the operand. Previously, I have told you in the last class that one memory reference is required. That's the wrong one. Okay, that is for direct addressing mode. In case of registered direct addressing mode, no memory reference is required. Fine. And the example will be same. If you want to have this one, you can have this one. Add R will increment the value stored in accumulator by the register, the content of the register R. Okay, or maybe you can have that one. Add R1 comma R2. That means adds the content of register R1 and R2 and store the register in R1. Okay, that is your registered direct addressing mode. And that is your registered indirect addressing mode. Okay, over here, see the register set, that means in case of registered direct addressing mode, the register set directly contains the operand. Over here, the register set will contain one address. Okay, then we have to go to the memory to find the operand itself. Okay, so that means in case of registered direct mode, no reference to memory is there. Okay, but in case of registered indirect addressing mode, one memory reference will be required. Okay, so what is the difference between the two pictures? That in case of registered direct addressing mode, the register itself holding the operand. Over here, in case of registered indirect addressing mode, the register will hold one address. Okay, so first you have to go to that address. That means you have to go to the memory location, and on that particular memory location, the operand will be stored. Is it clear? Again, the last class, whatever I have told you, this is not the right one. This is the right one. Okay, so is it clear? Any doubt? The address field of the instruction.
It's clear.
Yeah, so both the diagrams are almost same. That's why somehow I got I got the wrong one. So this is the right one. Fine. So in case of register direct, there will be no memory reference. In a register set, the operand will be stored. In case of registered indirect mode, the register set will hold one address. You have to go to that memory location to find or fetch the operand. Okay, so that means in case of registered indirect addressing mode, one memory reference is required. Okay, now example. This is the example. Add R. Again, the same one. Just the implication is different. So add R will increment the value stored in the accumulator by the content of memory location specified in register R. Okay, so that means previously whatever we have in register R, that will be added with accumulator. See, add R will increment the value stored in accumulator by the content of register R. So that means whatever you have value in register R, that will be added with the value of accumulator. Over here in register indirect addressing mode, same example they have taken, add R, but the implication is different. What is the implication now? In R register, there will be one memory location. You have to go to that memory location, fetch the value, and that value will be added with the value of accumulator. Add R will increment the value stored in accumulator by the content of memory location specified in register R. So that means register R will contain the memory location. You have to go to that memory location, fetch the value, and that value will be added with accumulator. Okay, that is your register indirect addressing mode. And auto increment, auto decrement will be same. This is basically a part of registered indirect addressing mode. But what is the difference? That's why it has a different category. So this is similar to the registered indirect mode, except that after or before register's content is used to access memory, it is incremented or decremented by 1. Okay, so I have told you last class also, auto increment, auto decrement. That means, you will increment the content by 1, or you will decrement the content by 1 register's content before before or after it will use the memory location. Fine, that is auto increment or auto decrement. So that is your class 2. Now we will move on to class 3. So what is class 3? Address field is memory address. That means in case of class 1 and class 2, we don't have memory address over till now. Okay, now in class 3 in class 3 we will use the memory address. Okay, so over here the address field is memory address. Okay, so that is your class 3. So those who are writing, so class 1, you have you don't have any address field, not anything, not as register, not as memory. You don't have the concept of address field. Okay, over there you have 3: implied, immediate, stack. In case of the second class, address field is register address. Today also we have discussed register direct, register indirect, and auto increment or auto decrement mode. Fine. Now we will move to class 3. In case of class 3, now address field is memory address. Okay, so that means memory address will be mentioned over here. Now this have two parts: direct or absolute addressing mode and indirect addressing mode. Okay, so the first category over here, so we have done 6, 3 in class 1, 3 in class 2, so altogether 6. Now this is 7. Okay, so this is basically direct or absolute address mode. This is the 7th one, and 8th one is indirect address mode. Okay, so indirect address mode. So basically class 3 have two examples: direct or indirect address mode. Okay, that is what I have shown you in the last class. Okay, that two diagrams. Yeah. So direct address mode. So over here we can say that in this address mode, the instruction contains the memory address of the operand explicitly. Okay, so that means the memory address will be specified explicitly. In case of direct addressing mode, so in a normal manner, that means the address will be specified directly. That's why it's direct addressing mode. So that means whatever operation you have to do, just after the operation, the address will be specified. Okay, that is your direct address mode. So this is the this is the format of direct addressing mode. So you have opcode, and after that you have, that means the operation, and after that whatever you have, that will be directly specified a memory location where the operand is stored. Okay, so that means over here in the position of A, one memory location will be specified. Okay, you have to go to that memory location to fetch the operand. So that means one memory reference will be required in direct addressing mode. The address field, so this is direct addressing mode. The address field of the instruction contains the effective address of the operand. Effective address. Okay, so whatever address will be given over there, just you have to go into that memory address to fetch the operand. Only one reference to memory is required to fetch the operand. This is one memory reference. Okay, just you have to go to that location. So one memory location. This is also called as absolute addressing mode. This is, that's why I have written direct or absolute addressing mode. Now let me give you one example for this. This is one example, okay, whatever I'm writing right now. Suppose this is one example, okay, STA2500H, okay. So what does it mean? Store the content of the accumulator in the memory location 2500H. So I have told you that in case of direct addressing mode, you have the opcode or the operation which you have to perform, and after that one address, okay, direct address will be shown. You have to go to that address and you have to fetch the operand. So STA2500H, that means you have to go to this memory location 2500H, you have to fetch the operand and you have to store that value into the accumulator, that is STA 2500H. Next value is next example is LDA 2500H. Okay, so LDA 2500H, that also means same thing, that is you have to go to this memory location 2500H, you have to fetch the operand and you have to load that value into accumulator. Okay, so these two almost same thing, just the implication is different, store and load. Okay, so almost same thing. That means you have to go to this memory location, you have to fetch the operand and you have to load or store that value into accumulator. Okay, so that is your direct or absolute addressing mode. That means after the opcode or the operation, directly one memory address will be specified. You have to go to that memory address to fetch the operand. That means only one memory reference is required. Okay, next we will move on to indirect addressing mode. Okay, that means the diagram which I have shown you in yesterday's class. So this is indirect addressing mode. So in case of indirect addressing mode, what will be there? That after the operation or the opcode, there will be one memory address. Okay, you have to go to that memory address. That memory address basically will hold the effective address. That means that memory address or that location will also hold one address instead of operand. Previously, in case of direct addressing mode, this location itself contains the operand. Okay, but over here, in case of indirect addressing mode, this location will contain one more address. You have to go to that address to fetch the operand. So that means how many memory references we need? 1 and then 2. Okay, so because these two are so nearby, that's why yesterday I made the mistake. So for you, what is the difference between registered direct and direct addressing mode? Okay, first understand that. So in case of registered direct addressing mode, after the operation, there will be there will be one register mentioned, and in that register the operand will be there. Okay, in case of direct addressing mode, after the operation or opcode, there will be one memory address will be given. You have to go to that memory location to fetch the operand. So that means in case of registered direct addressing mode, we don't need to refer memory. But in case of direct addressing mode, we need to refer the memory at least one. Okay, what are the example of registered direct? That is add R1, R2. That means you have to add the values of R1 register with R2 and the result will store in R1 register. And what is the example for direct addressing mode? Just we have discussed STA 2500H. That means you have to go to the location 2500H. You have to fetch the operand and you have to store that value into the accumulator. Okay, so that is the difference between direct addressing mode and registered direct addressing mode. Now, what is the difference between indirect addressing mode and registered indirect addressing mode? So in case of registered direct addressing mode, after the opcode or operation, there will be one register set. Okay, that register set, and over there instead of an operand there will be one memory address given. Okay, so again you have to go to that memory address to fetch the operand. Fine, so that means over here in case of registered indirect addressing mode, you have to refer memory once. Okay, once you have to refer the memory. What will be the example? Add R. Okay, so that means in registered R there will be one memory location. You have to go to that memory location to fetch the operand, and after that, that operand will be added with the value of accumulator. That is registered indirect addressing mode. Now this is indirect addressing mode. What is indirect addressing mode? That after operation or opcode there will be one memory address. First you have to go to that memory address. The content of the memory address will be another address. So you have to go to that another address to fetch the operand. So that means in case of indirect addressing mode, there will be two memory reference. Okay, this is one memory reference and this is another memory reference. And what will be the example? Add X will increment the value stored in the accumulator by the value stored at memory location specified by X. Okay, so add X or add R. In case of register indirect mode, what will be it? X is register. You have to go to that register to get one memory address. Then you have to go to that memory address and you have to fetch the value, and that value will be added by accumulator. Over here, X is memory location. So you have to go to that memory location. Over there, another memory location will be specified. Okay, so you have to go to that another location to fetch the operand, and that value will be added with the value of accumulator. So again, add X will increment the value stored in accumulator by the value stored in memory location specified by X. Okay, so that is the difference between registered direct and direct addressing mode, and registered indirect and indirect addressing mode. Okay, so this is direct addressing mode, this is indirect addressing mode, this is registered direct addressing mode, and this is registered indirect addressing mode. Hope you know the things are clear, that what is the difference between these two, direct and registered direct, and indirect and registered indirect. Clear for everyone with example?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So class 4 is done. Okay. Now we will move on to, sorry, class 3 is done. Now we will move on to the last class, that is class 4. Okay. So class 4 again. So how many we have done? We have done up to 8. So class 4 again have, so what does class 4 means? Okay. So class 4, over here, basically the address field, doesn't contain the effective address. Over here also one memory location will be specified, but it doesn't contain the effective address. You have to do one calculation always. In case of class 4, to get the effective address, you have to do one addition operation. Okay, that is your class 4. So in case of class 4, how you will get that effective address? So in case of class 3, the effective address, always specified directly. So over here in class 4, effective address is equals to address part of instruction plus content of a CPU special register, plus content of a CPU special register. Okay, that is for class 4. So again, so in class 1, we don't have any address, neither memory address nor register, nothing. Okay, in class 2, you have the concept of register. In class 3, you have the concept of memory address, and now in class 4, you have the address, but you have to calculate the effective address. How you can calculate the effective address? Address part of the instruction, that means one address part will be given in the instruction after the operation or opcode, plus you have to add that with content of a CPU special register. Okay, that special register can be anything. Okay, you have to that regarding to that content of CPU special register, it is basically categorized. Okay, so in every category, this part will be changed. That's content of a CPU special register. Okay, so class 4, in class 4, basically address field doesn't contain an effective address. The effective address is calculated from this relation. Effective address is equals to address part of instruction plus content of a CPU special register, and this class 4 is categorized based on this part, content of a CPU special register. Fine. So let's move on to the first category. So up to 8 we have done registered indirect. Now 9. Okay. The 9 is basically relative address mode or PC relative address mode. Relative or PC relative. So we already know that PC stands for program counter. Okay, so that means over here, this part, that is content of a CPU special register. So which is the special register over here? PC, program counter. Okay, so I have told you that in case of class 4, the category of class 4 is basically dependent on this part, content of a CPU special register. So in the first category, relative or PC relative, the special register is program counter. Okay, so you know what we can say about this. In this type of mode, the effective address is obtained by adding the content of program counter register with address part of the instruction. Okay, so obviously effective address. So in this relative or PC relative address mode, how we can calculate the effective address? Address part of the instruction plus content of program counter. Okay, so again, relative or PC relative, how you can calculate the effective address over here? Address part of the instruction which is given plus content of program counter. Okay, so those who are writing in this mode, the effective address is obtained by adding the content of program counter PC register with address part of the instruction. Okay, that is your concept for relative or PC relative address mode. Fine. Now, you know, we will give you one example. So, the thing which I am writing, it's the instruction. Instruction says, so AR20. Okay, so what does it means? It means basically branch to a location relative to the value 20. So this 20 value is basically your offset value. Okay, that is your offset value. Now suppose the the content of the program counter is 2000. Okay, suppose. Okay. Give me a minute, okay, I need to charge the laptop. So, you know, over here, suppose the content of the program counter PC equals to, this is one example. Okay, so that's why we can, we have to we have to assume one, you know, one value for it. Okay, so the instruction JR20 is basically one 2-byte instruction, one for JR and another one for 20. Okay, 2-byte instruction. Now suppose the content of the you know, PC is 20 plus 2 is 2000 plus 2 is equals to 2002. Again, this is one example. Okay, so the value we are taking, they are random values. So content of PC equals to, suppose, 2002. Okay, of PC. So that means 2000 plus 2, Y2 for storing JR 1 byte and for storing 20 another 1 byte, 2000 byte, 2002. Okay, so so that means that is the content of PC after the instruction fetch. So 2000, suppose that is the previous content of program counter. Now you have to fetch the instruction. So 1 byte for JR, another 1 byte for 20. So 2 bytes. So 2000 plus 2 byte is equals to 2002. Okay. So what we know, that how we can calculate the effective address part of the instruction. Okay, so what is the address part of the instruction? Instruction JR, then 20. So that means address part of the instruction is 20 plus content of a CPU special register. Now over here, in case of relative or PC relative, the special register is program counter. What is the content of program counter? 2002 is equals to 2022. Okay, so again, in case of class 4, we don't have direct effective address. How you have to calculate effective address? Address part of instruction plus content of a CPU special register. For the first category, relative or PC relative, the special register is program counter. Now this is one example. Okay, so in this example, JR20. Okay, that is the example we have given. So this is basically a branch to a location relative to the value 20. Okay, so what is the value given in the instruction itself? 20. Now program counter initially will hold the value 2000. Okay, suppose initially it's holding the value 2000. Now after fetching the instruction, so you have to fetch the instruction. So JR and 20, these are two different parts. JR is the instruction and 20 is the value. So 1 byte each. So 2 bytes. So after fetching the instruction, what will be the content of program counter? 2000 plus 2 is equals to 2002. So altogether, what is the effective address now? Address part of the instruction 20 plus content of a CPU special register, that is 2002 is equals to 2022. Okay, that is your relative address mode or PC relative address mode. Now we will move on to the next category. So tell me, there will be one numerical example. I don't think it's possible today to show you the numerical example. Tomorrow I will show you a numerical example also. But first tell me, the class 4, the first example of class 4 is clear to you? That is what is relative or PC relative address mode?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, why are we adding the 2 byte with the PC content?
Yeah, so that means, you know, there will be two, that's why I'm saying that tomorrow I will show you one numerical example. Basically, you need to understand that what type of question you may face from this part. Okay, one will be the direct question. That means they will be mentioned one type of one or two type of addressing mode, and you have to write what does addressing mode means with one example. That means suppose your question is what is PC relative address mode. In that case, you have to say that PC relative address mode is basically this class 4 where the effective address will be calculated by this equation. Okay, and after that you will give one example by yourself. Another type of question you may face, there will be one numerical example. In that case also, the value of program counter will be mentioned and this instruction will be given. So what you have to do, just you have to add whatever value is given with the instruction with the value of program counter, that is the special CPU register. Okay, so both ways, that means you have to add two values. What are the two values? The content of program counter after fetching instruction and the value of the the value which is given in the instruction itself. Okay, now over here always you need 2 bytes, 1 byte for the output itself and 1 byte for the value. Okay, that means 2 byte. Now the content of program counter will be mentioned. You have to add this 2 byte with the content of program counter. So over here I have assumed that initially the content of program counter is 2000 and after fetching the instruction it becomes 2002. Why 2 byte? It's clear. 1 byte for each thing. 1 byte for the output and 1 byte for the value. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now the next one, that is, we will go to the next one. Tomorrow I will show you one example, numerical example. You can do one thing is, you can study the addressing modes by today. If possible, I know that, all the exams are going on. So if possible, give 10 minutes, study the different types of addressing modes. And if you feel that you have any problem, we can again discuss this tomorrow. So let's finish this part today. If you got 5 to 10 minutes, just go through the addressing modes and tell me what are your doubts tomorrow. That one thing we can do. Okay, let's move on to the next one, that is indexed addressing mode. Okay, that is the another part, sorry, another category. Okay, indexed addressing mode. Today, from today onwards, you need to tell me after 11 that ma'am stop. Okay, because every day, because of me, you all are late for the next class, which I don't like. Sometimes I just forget to watch the time. So please let me know at 11 that ma'am it's 11 o'clock. It will be very easy for me. Very easy and helpful for me. So indexed address mode. So in case of indexed address mode, what is your special register? Indexed register. Okay, so you have to remember the type. So in case of PC relative, what is your special register? Program counter. In case of indexed register mode, what is your special register? Indexed register. Okay, so that means now we will change the equation over here. Previously the equation is address part of instruction by content of program counter. Okay, over here address part of the instruction by content plus content of the index register. Okay, index register is another special register of CPU. So over here, what will be the equation? In case of indexed address mode, the address part of the instruction will be added with the content of index register. Okay, that is your indexed addressing mode. Okay, now I will give you one example. This is one again example. Okay, so you have to understand, whenever I am talking about examples, that means they are random values. Okay, so suppose this is one example, LDA 1000. Okay, so LDA, that means we already know LDA, SDA, load accumulator. Okay, LDA means load accumulator. So what we have to load in accumulator? So suppose over here the value of index register specified by X always. Okay, like program counter, the abbreviation of program counter is PC, we already know. Index register, the abbreviation is XR. Okay, suppose the value of index register is this. Okay. So what does it mean? It means it means that what is the effective address over here? So effective address, calculate the effective address. Effective address is address part of instruction by content of index register. What is the address part of the instruction given? 1000 plus 0002. Okay, is equals to 1002. Right? So that means first you have to go to this address 1002. Whatever value or whatever data you have in this location, you have to fetch that data and you have to load that data into accumulator. Okay, that is your index address mode. Okay, so in case of index address mode, how we will find the effective address? First, the address which is given with the instruction, that will be added with the value of the content of index register. Okay, so over here, as this is one example, the index register content we have assumed by ourselves. Okay, if this is one mathematical example given, the value will be mentioned always. Okay, remember. So what you have to remember, basically this relation. Okay, all the things will be given, just you have to fetch them. Fine. So that is your index register address mode.
Ma'am, we have to memorize the examples.
Yes, because if you have to, like, if they are asking explain index register address mode, so you have to explain index register address mode and you have to always give one example. Okay, so that's why I'm telling the example very specifically. So for all the addressing mode, you have to remember the definition plus one example, at least one example. Okay, there is no confusion. But because if I have asked you about anything, suppose I have asked you registered indirect addressing mode, so first you have to explain what you mean by registered indirect address mode for plus with one example. Okay, for all the addressing mode. Fine, students? Okay, that's why I'm telling that maybe tomorrow or maybe next week, because by 30th you will complete all your class test. So maybe next week study this address mode part and tell me your doubts. Okay, if not doubts, suppose if you need any other thing, suppose you need notes or something, so you have to convey the message to me. Okay, so very quickly the last one, yeah, I have time. So very quickly the last one is base register address mode. Okay, base register address mode. Right, so base register address mode. So in case of base register address mode, what will be your you know, this equation? So what will be your special register? This base register. Okay, so that means content of the operation, whatever it's given, plus you know, the content of base register, that will give you one effective address. Okay, so in case of base register address mode, you know, why we will use this address mode. So base register address mode is basically used when we want to relocate any program in the memory. So that means, you know, previously a memory has one memory location. Now suppose if I want to change the program's memory location, then we need this you know, address mode, base register address mode. That's why it's base register. That means it will change the base register of the program. Okay, so whatever offset value is given, this is the offset value. So whatever offset value will be given, that will be added with the base register's value. Okay, and you know, after adding whatever value we will get, that will be the new address of the program. Okay, so that is base register address mode. So again, what is base register address mode? Now in case of base register address mode, there will be no particular example. Just in case of base register address mode, you have to specify that this is this type of address mode we use to relocate a program. That means if you want to relocate a whole program to you know, to other memory address, then we will use this base register address mode. And what we will do in base register address mode, so whatever you know, whatever content you have with the opcode, that content will be added with the value of base register. And after adding the addition value, the output, the addition output will be the new address for the program itself. Okay, that is your base register address mode. That is basically to relocate a program. Now for the relative address mode or the PC relative address mode, I have one diagram with me, and I will share that diagram in the WhatsApp. Okay. So that diagram is basically for PC relative address mode. Okay. See, if you see the diagram, you know, it's received. You can see it, the diagram, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm telling you, that one byte thing. That's why I'm sharing this. See, opcode JR and 20 is the value offset. So if you want to store this, you need 1 byte of memory for each. That's why I'm telling 2 byte. Okay, if you have any confusion over here, that's why. So JR20 altogether will take 2 byte. Okay, why it will take? For JR 1 byte and for 20 value 1 byte. Okay. Now over here, you know, initially the you know, the value of program counter is 2000. Why the value of program counter is 2000? Because 2000 is the location. See, it's given. 2000 is the location of JR from where the instruction is started, and what program counter will store? That value which we want to execute. Okay, so basically program counter either will hold, we are running a program, so what program counter will hold? Either whatever we are running or whatever we want to run next. Okay, that is the purpose of program counter only. Program counter will not store anything else. So as we are running JR, and what is the location of JR? 2000. So initially program counter will hold you know, 2000 memory location, and after fetching this JR20, what will be the content of PC? 2000 plus 2 byte, that is 2002. Now what is the offset 20? So now what will be the effective address? 2002 will be added with 20, that is why 2022. Okay, and at the end, see over here it's written, this is for index register. Effective address 1000 plus content of XR is equals to 1002. That is, this one is for index register. So what is the example for index register? This one, LDA 1000. And what is the value I have told you about index register? 0002. Basically this is the value of index register. So how you can calculate the effective address? Effective address will be the address specified in the operation plus the address of the plus the content of the index register. What is the address specified over here? 1000. And what is the content of index register? 2. So that's why 1002. Okay, that is your effective address. That means you have to go to this memory location 1002. You have to fetch that data and you have to load that data into accumulator. Okay, so that is your relative or PC relative index. And in case of base register, basically you are relocating the whole program. That means you are using the base register, the content of the base register, you are relocating the address of a whole program. Okay, relocating address, that means the first address of a program will be relocated. If the first address of the program will be relocated, automatically all the other address will be relocated by itself. Okay, so addressing mode, I won't say that it's very easy. You have to study it by yourself. So take your time, study, and whenever you feel that you have any doubt, tell me. Okay, tomorrow I will show you one numerical example. Quickly write down your name with university roll number and leave.